Welcome to another episode of On the Range. I tell you, it's a beautiful day here, way up north near the Canadian border. Today we're shooting the Ruger SP101 for two reasons. Number one, I wanted to get out and shoot it because I've been carrying it around quite a bit lately, and the reason for that has been this new Galco holster, the Hornet holster. If you saw my Coffee in the Tack Room the other day, which I talked about it, Talk Room. Yeah, but I've been accused of being long-winded, so maybe that's a better name, the Talk Room. At any rate, if you saw my Coffee in the Tack Room the other day with the Hornet, Galco Hornet, you'll know what I'm talking about here. A direct vertical drop holster, which if you follow my channel, that's what I like. This one, however, is probably going to be utilized more as a cross draw holster. And you can do that with a direct vertical drop. But I've been wearing it at 3 o'clock as a strong side holster now for over a week, and I really do enjoy this holster, and this is what I want to talk about. This is a long ways to get around this. Of course, this is a Ruger SP101 357 Magnum 5-shot cylinder. This one happens to be set up as double action only, with the only way you're going to make this discharge is that long, hard trigger pull. There's no pulling the hammer back and cocking it to give yourself a light trigger pull. And it's set up for that reason, or for the reason that I like to have a long, hard trigger pull for the use I'm using this firearm for. Give me a chance to back off on that trigger should I decide not to pull the trigger. See, it gives me a little time to do a little thinking. Mr. Holster doesn't do that very often. Usually when things are going fast and furious is when he starts thinking, and he doesn't act as fast as maybe he should, but on the other hand, he doesn't tend to make as many mistakes when things are happening like that. So there you go. That's why that's like that, but that's not the reason I want to talk about this either. The real reason I wanted to show this gun, the real reason I wanted to shoot this gun today, let me get it right here. No, Mr. Holster has not been drinking. The real reason I want to shoot this gun and use this holster today is talk about how I've used this gun in the last 5 years that I've had it versus how I'm using it now. And the difference is the holster. This is the correct holster for me for this firearm. The other one I had was an alright, and I still have it, is an alright holster and a good holster, but you know, it doesn't work the same way this one does. And it's a pretty minor difference. But the difference is this one tucks in tight to the body and stays there. It's not quite as loose a fit and moving around as much as the other one. The other one had to be worn exactly at 230 to keep it from moving around, which is fine, and it's an alright position to carry it. I don't mind that. Matter of fact, I kind of liked it. But I found since I got this, and it sits in the same spot that I use all my other ones, and it's designed the same way with that 2 belt loop system, direct vertical drop, where you've got this belt loop on the back side of the holster holding the sidearm to your body, and then this one with a belt loop in between so it can't move around, and then this wing being out here instead of the other one just has this one loop to hold it on. Given this out here that the belt goes through, it draws it tighter and tensions it better, and it just feels so much better and it's so much more usable. I've been using this gun like crazy since I got this holster. Thank you, Galco, by the way, for this holster. But I wanted to talk about, you know, sometimes it's not the firearm, it's the holster. Getting the correct holster for the firearm and for the purpose you're using that firearm makes all the difference in the world. And sometimes it takes you a long time to really settle in, and it took me a long time to get this. And it really came from going down to Gunsight and taking a course there. And back in the day, I don't know what they're doing nowadays, but back in the day, you really couldn't take a firearms course and use any holster, not one that's open to more or less the general public, and just use any holster. They had pretty strict requirements. You use a holster that's basically a range holster, a belt holster, on the waistband belt holster, strong side, not a cross draw. And that's what they wanted to see because of safety issues and training a bunch of people, especially people you don't know that are new to you. And I came away from that thinking, you know, a smart guy would find the type of holster that works for him, that meets the qualification of those instruction courses you're taking. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense to spend all that money and spend all that time pulling that firearm out of that holster and then go back to work and switch the holster. So next time I went down to Gunsight, I had changed everything I had. And I trained with exactly what I was using. Now nowadays I'm sure things have changed because they're using holsters nowadays in places where back in the day somebody who was a firearms instructor would pretty much bitch slap you for doing what they're doing nowadays. Which, you know, yeah, they should. Because it ain't worth it, the risk. But there you go. That's just me spouting off my ideas. You know, you do what you want. As my dad always say, you know what's best for you. Don't tell me what's best for me. So there you go. I'm just telling you what I think now that I've wasted who knows how many minutes of your life babbling aimlessly and trying to get in a groove here. Which, it's been a long time since Mr. Holster's been in a groove. So there you go. I'll leave you with a little more footage of me out in the hard target range shooting this beautiful SP101 stainless steel 357 Magnum. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of On the Range. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Till next time, for Mr. Holster and Jack, it says that right here, Mr. Holster, and Jack, go out and stay safe.